Minecraft speedrunning tournaments have been around for a long time, but they've been steadily growing in popularity for over a year now. Nerdy Speedrun Showdown at the beginning of the year, Method's Minecraft Invitational, T-Wag and Antoine's I Spy Invitational, the Minecraft Relay Cup. These tournaments all had one thing in common though. The runners were playing pre-selected seeds. Seed finders and testers would handpick seeds that would best display the runner's skills and provide the most entertaining matches. But at the beginning of May, there was a highly publicized tournament that looked a little different. The European Speedrunner Assemblies beat the record live, Minecraft Edition. 7 top runners would spend 36 hours over the course of 3 days grinding random seeds, something they do all the time, but almost never with this amount of efficiency and dedication, and never all at once. And by the end of the tournament, no one had come close to beating the record, with only one runner even getting a personal best. So yeah, beating a record live isn't easy. Regardless of the category, so many things have to go right for a world record to be possible, and fantastic execution is always required. But the good news is, this was far from the only tournament with this same goal, and on October 2nd, this seemingly impossible task came true. A runner beat an any percent random seed glitchless world record live during a tournament. This is how it happened. Let me set the stage. On October 1st, a tournament called Tower to the Top began, or TTTT for short. Hosted by frogs, it was so titled because the runners would be playing the pre-version 1.9 subcategory, where the iconic Enderman Tower would be used to collect Ender Pearls. Well, unless players use the newer and much rarer strategy of trading with villagers for Eyes of Ender, but that's a topic for another video. The tournament would take place over the course of 20 total hours from October 1st to October 3rd, and every runner who participated would have to run for at least 12 hours of that time. By the time the tournament came around, people were excited, partially because the cast of 12 runners included many of the best modern runners of the category, including former world record holders Max and whatevermarco. It was up in the air whether or not the record would be obtainable, but the goal was clear. Infume's 1958 from July was the only sub 20-minute run in the category, and these runners were going to try to change that. Day 1 would be a shorter event, with only 4 hours of runs, but with 12 top runners going at once, there were still 3 runners who were able to beat the game in under 25 minutes, which has long been considered a top-tier time in the category. One runner, Teddy Ursa, was even able to beat his personal best.
Finish, yeah, definitely.
Yes!
Holy shit!
It might be sub 22.
Yeah.
It might be sub 22. It might be sub 22.
It's definitely sub 22. It's definitely sub 22. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Later in the day, whatevermarco pulled off an insane run where he managed to enter the end with everything he needed to kill the dragon at 220? No, Marco just has a habit of accidentally hitting the button to restart his timer in the middle of runs. But this run actually was world record pace, with the end enter being at about 17 minutes and 45 seconds, about 45 seconds earlier than Infume enters the end in his world record. But sadly, the dragon just didn't charge at Marco fast enough, and at about 20 minutes and 15 seconds, he reset the run. This wasn't Marco's first time having a sub 20-minute run in his grasp, and it wouldn't be his last. In fact, he would be in the same position very soon after. Let's skip to just under 6 hours into the second day of the event. 11 of the 12 players are actively running, and in the commentary booth are Chaos, Falco, and everyone's favorite celebrity guest, Illumina. As the commentators share stories from back in the olden days of Minecraft speedrunning, Marco spawns into a world that, although no one knew it yet, would lead to a truly historic run. Marco spawns into a plains next to a savanna and a desert, so if he can find a cave for iron and a lava pool to enter the nether, this seed will be playable. After about 30 seconds of running, he spots his cave, grabs some wood, and heads down to get his iron. Now, everyone in the community knows that Marco is a top runner, if not the best runner, of Pre-1.9 RSG at this moment, and one of many giveaways is his crafting mechanics, which are top tier. He leaves the cave and puts the rest of his iron in his furnace, then sets off to find a handful of things. A lava pool, gravel to get flint, chickens to get feathers, sheep to get wool, and trees which he can shear to gather a lot of blocks and get wood. He can save some of these for after he goes to the nether, but the more he gets up front, the better the odds of a good run are. After crossing a river, he gets his gravel, chickens, leaves, and wood. Now, don't try what you're about to see at home. Marco is a trained professional. Because he runs out of sprint, he eats a piece of raw chicken. Oh! Ew! Luckily, he doesn't get food poisoning, and he returns across the river to collect his iron and start grilling some cows. At this point, another familiar voice joins the call. Infume, the world record holder.
Dude, Marco, how the fuck do you keep getting so many fast tower splits?
Marco and Infume get into a brief screaming match over the virtues of government regulation of hardware advantages in Minecraft speedrunning, as Marco shears some sheep and looks for a lava pool. He spots a lava pool on the edge of the desert and is building his nether portal at under 4.5 minutes. By getting into the nether at about 4:45, Marco is only about 10 seconds behind Infume's world record run, giving him a great start. Meanwhile, Falco and Illumina's commentary time slot has run out, and Illumina lets us know who his pick to win the tournament is.
If I had to pick one person to win this, it would be, I want Speed to win. Speed, get sub 20. You have my blessing? I mean,
Marco loads into an immediate nether fortress, as Falco slides right over to Marco's voice call, where he's understandably a little bit starstruck.
It was cool to talk to Lumina.
Marco's got a not too easy task of navigating this wide open fortress with some stray blazes, which is much more difficult in older versions than it is nowadays. Meanwhile, Speed Nintendo makes a prediction in his own run.
Oh, I see a fortress is sub 20, guys.
And, I mean, he's not wrong. He's just looking at the wrong run. After getting one blaze rod from 2 stray blazes killed, Marco reaches a blaze spawner at 5:40, where he gets good spawn speed and spawn rates, but very bad blaze rod drops, as he goes 4 for 14. He decides to take a risk in order to preserve his pace, as he leaves the spawner with just 5 blaze rods at 7 minutes. Luckily, he runs into one more stray blaze on his way out of the fortress, and it drops him a 6th blaze rod. Quickly though, Marco gets into trouble. He runs up a staircase into a squad of hostile mobs, and while he fights them off, he does get clipped by a wither skeleton. With another wither skeleton and a regular skeleton in front of him, it suddenly seems like Marco's run might be over.
Oh, I think Marco's dead.
But with this zombie piglin in the mix, Marco sees exactly what he has to do. Keeping his eye on the wither skeleton, Marco strafes so that when trying to shoot him, the skeleton will instead shoot the zombie piglin, getting the piglin to kill the skeleton while Marco smoothly deals with the wither skeleton. So, Marco's out of the nether at 8:02, which is fantastic pace. He's about 30 seconds behind the pace of Infume's world record, but it won't matter, and you'll see why in a second. Now, it's time to build his tower and collect ender pearls. Marco heads straight into the desert, which has great terrain.
Oh, jeez, Marco. Oh my god, that terrain looks fucking sexy.
The structure Marco will use for his tower is called the Dark Matter Tower, invented by our old friend Seaskull. I wonder what Seaskull's up to nowadays. Oh. Because he's already in the desert and he's so efficient at building his tower, Marco essentially has a perfect pace at this point in the run. That's because there's one key step in this part of every run that pace locks runners, meaning there's a limit to how fast they can go. To set their spawn at the top of the tower, they actually have to get into bed, meaning it has to be night by the time they get to the top of the tower. More specifically, Minecraft allows you to sleep starting about 10 minutes and 27 seconds into a new world, and in in-game time, that's almost exactly what Marco is able to do. It's not like a perfect pace entering the Enderman fight has never happened before, but it's certainly incredibly rare. Marco will dig down far enough for Enderman to die from fall damage, then leave water in the corner of the hole so that he can survive the drop himself. Now, he needs the Enderman luck to be on his side to keep this fantastic pace going. He drops down his tower once and gets one Enderman spawn. On his next drop, though, something insane happens.
What the fuck? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? What?
What, man?
How many is this?
What the?
8 Enderman spawns in one cycle take this run from potential world record pace to, well, world record pace. After getting 3 Endermen in his next 2 cycles, he gets 5 more on the next one, meaning he's killed 17 Endermen in just 90 seconds since starting the fight. He drops down again, this time using the ladder to avoid taking fall damage. He gets 2 more Enderman spawns, and then drops down the hole, where he'll watch very carefully as the Ender Pearls that have collected at the bottom of the pit will pop into his inventory for just a split second before he dies. With a 50% drop rate, Marco needs to have gotten fairly lucky with the Ender Pearl drops to leave at this point. And that's exactly what happened. Now, this run is insane. Marco is about to leave the Enderman Tower at about 14 minutes, over a minute ahead of Infume's world record run. Infume himself can tell what's about to go down.
Okay, I'm losing my record. Okay. I just gotta psych myself into it.
Meanwhile, Chaos, the lone commentator at this point, has been focusing on a different run?
Zoom in on Roy. See what his pace is right now, because... Yes, Sharpie, I do want to watch it, because guess what? Marco's on world record pace every run.
But at this point, the stream focuses in on Marco, who's on historic pace. Marco's friends are chattering nervously, but Marco himself is simply focused. A sub 20 in this category is something Marco's worked for a very, very long time. And right now, he can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But he's not quite there yet. He still needs more wool, arrows, and quick stronghold location. And while he's able to gather the first 2, he gets pretty unlucky with the stronghold distance. However, if there's anyone who can handle long distances of traveling, it's Marco. He's simply built different. He accidentally resets his timer when leaving the desert, but after a little over 3 minutes of running, his Eye of Ender points down, and Marco is on top of the portal room. He threw 6 Eyes of Ender and 1 of them broke, meaning he needs the end portal to have at least 1 eye for the run to survive. And this time around, it has 4. With his friends muted, the commentators commentating, and the viewers watching in anticipation, Marco has played his way right into a world recordable run. All he needs to do is have a good end fight. He's into the end at 18 minutes 11 seconds, about 20 seconds faster than Infume's world record. He throws his remaining Ender Pearl to the island, where he finds a very nice end generation. He's got not too many towers nearby to heal the dragon constantly, and the ones nearby are in a good formation for him to shoot the crystals and coax the dragon into charging at him. He shoots 2 crystals, then takes advantage of the dragon connecting to a third by shooting it at the right time, getting the dragon to turn and charge at him. He times his bed explosion beautifully, getting the dragon down to about 2/3 of its health. And before he can shoot another crystal, the dragon immediately turns and comes back for another charge. Another great explosion, and Marco is just 2 beds away from ending it. He shoots another crystal, getting the dragon to charge at him, but the angle is bad, and Marco has to back away. He doesn't give up though, immediately shooting the dragon again. When that doesn't get the dragon to charge, he shoots the first crystal it locks onto. When that doesn't work, he does it again. After shooting a 3rd consecutive crystal the dragon is locked onto, it finally gives in and comes in for another charge. Marco does as much damage as he needs to, getting the dragon down to 1 bed's worth of health. With about 45 seconds left to beat the world record, it all comes down to this. And at 19 minutes and 28 seconds, the dragon turns to face Marco as he prepares himself for one last charge. All he has to do is time the bed explosion well, and his path to beating the game on Pre-1.9 in under 20 minutes will be complete. He'll have done something that we almost never see in a tournament setting, beating the record live. But Marco has been one of the best in the game for a long time now, and now that his moment has come, he's ready.
Oh my fucking...
Yes! Marco, let's go! Let's go! Oh my god!
I fucking did it!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I fucking did it!
Oh my god!
I fucking did it! I fucking did it!
Oh fucking god! Let's go!
Oh my fucking god!
Yes!
It's
let's
Oh
go.
my god, man!
Could have been better.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
no.
Oh my god! Oh my god, dude!
Marco doesn't see this world record as his world record. Instead, it belongs to the community around him and his friends who helped him along the way. As games get more competitive, they naturally become more controversial, more divisive, and sometimes less fun. But the community behind this world record is an exception. One of the people in call with Marco when he got this run was the person whose record he had just beaten, and there wasn't a single person in the community who wasn't rooting for him, or every member of the whole tournament for that matter. What makes speedrunning special is that at the end of the day, it usually isn't about one person versus another. A lot of the time, it's about a person versus themselves, or in this case, a group of people who have come together versus the game. And I think that's a rivalry worth appreciating. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to subscribe for more Minecraft speedrunning content. You can also check out all the people who made this video possible down in the description. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.